It's been labeled as the most dangerous island in the world, but not for the reasons you might think. With such a label, you might think of an island infested with ferocious animals, killer insects, and corporate lawyers. In this case, however, we're referring to the people on the island. Buckle up because we're heading to North Sentinel Island, home to the Sentinelese tribe, arguably the most isolated people on Earth. These folks haven't gotten the memo about the internet, avocado toast, or even, wearing clothes for starters. Now imagine this. You're stuck on a tropical island paradise. No deadlines, no traffic, just coconuts and clear blue waters. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, for the Sentinelese, this pristine island isn't just a vacation spot, it's their entire world. And they've been living this way for quite some time. That's right, folks, these are some serious survivalists. They've carved out a life here, completely self-sufficient, passing down their knowledge and traditions through generations. The Sentinelese are part of the indigenous Andamanese people, who have inhabited the Andaman Islands for an estimated 50,000 years. North Sentinel Island itself is a tiny speck in the Indian Ocean, surrounded by coral reefs and dense jungle. Any attempt at contact with the outside world has been met with fierce resistance. We're talking arrows, spears, basically the whole get off my lawn vibe cranked up to 11. Look, I get it. They've been living their best life for millennia without us, so why mess with a good thing? But this fierce reputation has shrouded them in mystery. Who are these people? Where did they come from? And most importantly, do they even know what a Netflix binge is? Probably not. Now, you might be wondering, why all the secrecy? Why do they shun outsiders like you shunned your relatives for that timeshare they offered? Let's take a deep dive. See, the Sentinelese have had very little contact with the outside world. Like, really little contact. We're talking about a few documented encounters over the centuries, none of them exactly a friendly neighborhood barbecue. In fact, the Sentinelese have a well-deserved reputation for being, well, let's just say they're not exactly fans of surprise visits. Despite their standoffish nature, the Sentinelese have unwittingly become the subject of scientific fascination. Anthropologists are eager to study their unique way of life. But there's one tiny problem. The Sentinelese are not too keen on having uninvited guests over for tea and biscuits. There have been reports of arrows raining down on airplanes like confetti at a party they weren't invited to. Fishermen being met with a less than enthusiastic welcome, and, well, let's just say some unfortunate souls haven't made it off the island alive. So why the aggression? It all boils down to something called immunity. You see, our modern world is a germ buffet. We're constantly bombarded with all sorts of nasty little critters our bodies have learned to fight off over generations. But the Sentinelese, they haven't had that exposure. Their immune systems are like fortresses that have never been besieged. A simple virus, something we barely notice, could rip through their population like a wildfire through dry grass. Imagine this. You've spent your entire life in a bubble completely protected from germs. You've never had the sniffles, never experienced a fever. Then, suddenly, someone walks up and coughs right in your face. That's kind of what contact with outsiders could be like for the Sentinelese. Their bodies simply wouldn't know how to react. The common flu, a mere inconvenience for us, could be a death sentence for them. The Indian government has wisely created a buffer zone around the island, making contact with the Sentinelese illegal. It's a way to protect both them and us. But here's the thing. The Sentinelese are a paradox. They're fiercely independent, yet they've also interacted with outsiders on a very limited basis. In fact, there's evidence they may have even salvaged metal from shipwrecks, incorporating it into their tools. Maybe they're not completely averse to a little modern ingenuity, as long as it's delivered on their terms. The truth is, we know very little about the Sentinelese way of life. There are theories that the Sentinelese are descendants of early humans who migrated from Africa thousands of years ago. Their language is unique, unlike any other spoken on Earth. Their way of life is believed to be Paleolithic, meaning they live a hunter-gatherer existence with very little, well, anything from the modern world. It's like trying to introduce your grandma to the wonders of social media. Sure, it might seem harmless at first, but before you know it, she's sending you cat videos at 3 a.m. and sharing conspiracy theories about lizard people. So, while the Sentinelese may remain a mystery shrouded in secrecy, it's important for us to respect their wishes and keep our distance. After all, we wouldn't want to be the ones responsible for giving them a case of the sniffles.